This is Real Estate This Week with Stephen Gasque. 17 years on air and online, helping you succeed in buying, selling, and investing in property. The best real estate strategies out there, just for you.
Welcome to Real Estate This Week. Hi again, I'm Stephen Gasque, and I'm delighted you could join us as we continue our special coverage of the spring market. And on today's episode, selling in the spring market of 2026, we'll discuss price, condition, buyer demand, and the 5 essential steps every home seller needs to know about. So, here we go. Joining us now is Lennox Scott, Chairman and CEO of John L. Scott Real Estate in the Great American Northwest. John L. Scott Real Estate has more than 100 offices in the states of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and California, and over 3,000 broker associates. It's a family-owned company that this year celebrates its 95th anniversary. Lennox, welcome back to Real Estate This Week.
Well, thank you, Stephen. It's another great day in real estate.
And so, Lennox, I'd like to begin by sharing something I learned from you that can help every seller and every buyer, that shows how the markets typically rise and fall over a decade, and how knowing where they are can help buyers and sellers with their plans.
Right.
So, Lennox, where are we right now in that cycle?
Well, we call it the 10-year housing cycle, and it follows the U.S. economy. And what happens is the low point of the economy is when we see oil prices go up, then interest rates go up, inflation goes up, then transactions come down and prices come down. Well, we really didn't see that this cycle. This is an unusual cycle. We saw the number of transactions come off, mainly because of the 3% mortgages. We call it the lock-in effect. Those with 3% mortgages are just not moving in the normal sequence because it's such an advantageous mortgage. So it's taken a life event for many of those individuals to want to move out of their current home. So that's what's keeping us about 20% below normalcy for the normal amount of transactions. But for those homes coming on the market, because there is this restriction of supply, even though interest rates did go up, we've had price support because we haven't been oversupplied of standing inventory, resale standing inventory. And that changed a little bit since the tariff talk of last March 21 and the government shutdown. We're now back to actually a shortage level of supply through the mid-price ranges where 80% of transactions take place. So that's just the underlining the market. And for those in the luxury price points, what we have, Stephen, is a concept we called seller peer group. We trademarked that, seller peer group. What are the other homes that buyers are also looking at compared to my seller's home that I'm representing? Because that's the peer group. So how do I position myself? That's the big word. How do I position myself compared to the other homes on the market? Because maybe 2 out of 10 go under contract. Maybe there's a few price reductions. All those things come into play. But I need to inform my sellers on a weekly basis of what new listing, what went under contract, price reduction showings of the other homes in my peer group. Maybe there's 9 other homes in your peer group. How do you position? But we know it's really going to come down to what is the seller's motivation? Where are they going to? Have we done the math for them to be able to psychologically understand I'm going to buy right, I sell right, I'm going to be the next one to go under contract so I can be in motion for the next phase of my life.
And so, Lennox, when we talk about selling your house in the spring market of 2026, I know you don't just put a sign out front and wing it. I know you've developed a unique 5-step program to help sellers get a fast sale at a great price. Can you walk us through that?
Well, we have another expression, and this is a John L. Scott term, 5 rights make a sale. And when you're selling, these are the keys into getting your home sold. And those 5 rights are home right, yard right, price right, marketing right, and the right listing agent, your personal representative to showcase your home and network with the other brokers and negotiate on your behalf. So can we just chat through those a little bit?
Absolutely, Lennox.
Okay, great. So home right, that would be shampooing the carpet, clean the house, declutter it as much as possible. You'll get those bins from Costco or Walmart and fill them up and stack them up neatly in the garage, but clear the house out so people can envision themselves, create a line of sight and presence within the house. Yard right, most underestimated item in selling a home. Get a good edge on that grass, cut it, green it up during the summer, you water it, especially the front yard, because you walk up to a house where the yard is right, you feel like $1,000,000. The house is the house in the price range, but that initial feel, you say to yourself, I could live here. And that's what you want. You want people when they drive by the house, because they all drive by the house, you want them to say those magic words. I want to see inside this house. And that's when you get the showing and when that yard's right. Price right, of course, you're doing your a buyer CMA, competitive market analysis, looking at your seller peer group, how you're positioned with them, and then marketing. Boy, has marketing ever advanced over the last 30 years. Just the whole internet world, we reach 100% of all buyers. And so what marketing is really designed for is to not only just showcase your house, but what that does is it adds value because buyers can see the photos. It affirms your value of the price of your home and the desire to want to see the home. And it brings forward buyers and therefore transactions. And then the right listing broker for the consultation from initial consultation through showcasing, through representation, and getting you to the closing. We figure we're working with 20 different service partners, tools, and programs from consultation to getting your home closed. And that valued listing broker, your personal representative, makes all the difference.
Lennox, that is awesome. Now, a couple of questions about sellers in the spring market of 2026. What if, based on the comparative market analysis and the condition of the home and the location of the home, your seller's agent comes up with a suggested list price for that house, say $800,000. But the seller comes back and says, nope, I want to ask $1 million. What about that?
Well, it really makes a difference, the pricing. It is through the buyer CMAs, through the data that we have available to see what other homes are selling for, and particularly in this case, what other homes are listed for in the market. If it was a frenzy market, of course you could press pricing up. But in a more balanced market or strong market, it's being positioning yourself to the others that have already gone under contract and those that are currently on the market. And buyers see this. If they see a home is too high overpriced, they won't even go look at it because it's out of the realm of being reasonable. And people want to pay fair price. Sellers want to get fair price. And that's what we help negotiate to get that transaction together.
And of course, if you do go for a sky-high price that's unrealistic, the house is probably just going to sit there. And then you go into that death spiral where the price reductions begin, and then the buyers really hit you low.
Well, that does happen on occasion. And we know that the best chance to sell your home at the best price is the first 3 weeks on the market. And the reason for that, Stephen, is the backlog of buyers. They're waiting for the next home to come on. And 80% of buyers already know the geographical area and price range they're thinking about purchasing in. So they're waiting for that next property to come on. And if it comes on, the photos are right, the price is right, they feel good, they go drive by the house, that front yard's in great shape, then it brings them forward to take a look at the house or visit the open house. So all those things come into play. But it is that first 3 weeks. After that, you're waiting for one buyer at a time to come into the marketplace. You just don't have the price support. Mm-hmm. So after 3 or 4 weeks, buyers know they're going to be probably offering lower than the list price. And sellers also know, if possible, that would be a time to get their price in adjustment, because I'm assuming that the condition and the yard is in great shape, and I'm doing the best marketing possible.
And also, as a seller, will I be negotiating with a buyer?
As a seller, you're listing a broker representative, and we call it personal representation. They will do the negotiation on your behalf, keeping you fully informed. What we say is we partner with you as your personal representative to showcase your home in the best light to get the best price. That's how we chat with our seller clients that we represent. For buyers, we partner with you as your personal representative to help you purchase the right home at the right price. And that's where our value is being a personal representative to represent you with the industry for consultation, negotiation, and getting to that close date for the property transfer.
I see. And it wasn't too long ago, Lennox, that if I put my home on the market, it would be under contract almost immediately. Has that gone away?
The percent of homes that are going under contract within the first 30 days is down to levels of hotness from that ultra frenzy market that we experienced during COVID and after COVID until this last year of April of 2025. That was an ultra frenzy market. It would sell over the weekend at a premium price. We'd have multiple offers. And so that was a different type of consultation of how to generate those multiple offers to get that premium pricing. Nowadays, our consultation is to help you position your home to be the next one to sell at a good price, because we still have a strong market. It hasn't lowered back down to healthy in the mid-price ranges. We have a very strong market in many market areas where 80% of the transactions are taking place.
And Lennox, to sum it up for sellers, if I didn't have to sell, but I'm thinking about it, is the spring market of 2026 a good time to go for it, or should I wait?
I believe the spring market is a good time to sell your home. The prices have adjusted from 2025. There's more certainty in the market for buyers that the price is market price. Interest rates have come down. And there's an additional item you can do to position yourselves against the other sellers. I talked about house right, yard right. Well, if you don't quite have the funds to be able to get that accomplished right now, we have a program called Market Ready Plus, where we have a service partner that will loan the money to you to fix up the kitchen or the bathroom or replace the carpets, do the staging, get the outside yard in shape, so that you can be positioned and truly bring the value up of your home. A very cost-effective way to affirm and enhance the value of your property.
And Lennox, I really appreciate you walking us through what sellers need to know in today's market, a changed market, but still a great opportunity if you're planning to sell. Thank you, Lennox.
Well, thank you, Stephen, and I really appreciate you and everything you do for your listeners and for the real estate industry.
You're very welcome. Lennox Scott, Chairman and CEO of John L. Scott Real Estate in the Great American Northwest. John L. Scott Real Estate has more than 100 offices in the states of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and California, and over 3,000 broker associates. It's a family-owned company that this year celebrates its 95th anniversary. Next time on Real Estate This Week, we'll continue our conversation with Lennox Scott about good news for home buyers in the spring market, with prices, mortgage interest rates, and the supply of homes for sale all looking good. That's next on Real Estate This Week. And until then, I'm Stephen Gasque, and thank you for listening.
A brand new episode of Real Estate This Week with Stephen Gasque drops every Thursday, everywhere. And you're invited to listen, subscribe, and follow us. Just look for Real Estate This Week with Stephen Gasque. The best real estate strategies out there, just for you.